wrestling fans. Gary Maxwell with you. World Grand Prix Wrestling on location at the Cocan Arena. And what a show we have lined up for you. The Cuban Commandos, they are the International Tag Team Champions. Rotten Ron Starr will be on the program, as well as Leo Burke. And an incredible main event. You won't want to miss this one. The Beast in against the likes of King Harley Race, managed by Frenchie Martin. So you won't want to miss that. Let's get started by going to ring announcer Joe Siegel.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first match on today's program is a tag team action match. Already in the ring from Beverly Hills, California, weighing 225 pounds, the ever-popular Buddy Lane. His tag team partner is from Miami Beach, Florida, weighing 220 pounds, rock and roller Wayne Gillis. And their opponents making their way down to the ring area, known as the Cuban Commandos. Introducing first from Martinique, weighing 245 pounds, Jerry Morrow. His tag team partner is from Havana, Cuba, weighing 235 pounds, the Cuban Assassin. And they are the current North American Tag Team Champions. Your referee for this match is Bernie Richard.
Well, here we are at ringside. Gary Maxwell joining you. The Cuban Commandos, fresh from their assault on former partner Leo Burke last week. Here they are in action defending their North American tag team belts against the likes of Buddy Lane and the rock and roller Wayne Gillis. And I'll tell you, fans in the Maritimes have really soured on the likes of Jerry Morrow and the Cuban Assassin, the Cuban Commandos, after what they performed on Leo Burke. Front cranial surgery. Cuban, of course, splitting Burke's head wide open. Many of you saw it here on television last week. They were once the closest of friends. The Cuban Assassin and Leo Burke having teamed up on many occasions. One can only wonder at this point what happened to affect the relationship of the Cuban Assassin and Leo Burke. And in fact, the relationship between the Cuban Commando tag team and the pride of the Maritimes, Leo Burke. It's something that we will touch on later in this program. For now, let's concentrate on the action in the ring as Wayne Gillis takes down Jerry Morrow. A new tag team, Buddy Lane and Wayne Gillis. They're getting a crack here at those North American belts. And of course, they go in as the underdogs against this very potent and in fact lethal combination of the Cuban Assassin and Jerry Morrow. Wayne Gillis with a headlock on Jerry Morrow, and great move by Gillis, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my, Wayne Gillis with some outstanding wrestling maneuvers. And the fans are just loving it. The Cuban Assassin trying to interfere, and he paid the price. Jerry Morrow and the Cuban Assassin have made themselves a lot of enemies. And now Morrow climbing back into the ring to face rock and roller Wayne Gillis. There's a tag. Morrow and the Cuban Assassin did make the tag. Cuban may be holding a foreign object. I thought I saw the Cuban Assassin reach for the boot. Referee Bernie Richard checking for possible contraband. The fans at ringside are convinced that the Cuban assassin is carrying some sort of concealed object. Now here's Buddy Lane in against the Cuban assassin. There is absolutely no need for the Cuban assassin to resort to these kind of tactics. But he has obviously joined the dark side of professional wrestling, and now will stop at nothing to gain a victory. There's Buddy Lane, a beautiful flying drop kick, and another. Buddy Lane with all kinds of heat on the Cuban assassin. Here's a tag, and Jerry Morrow slowly climbing into the ring, and he's welcomed with an arm drag, and down goes Jerry Morrow. We'd like to mention all the cards and letters we're receiving here at World Grand Prix Wrestling. They are certainly welcome. We had a great note from Charlottetown the other day, and we certainly hope to be at the Charlottetown Forum in the near future. And if you care to write to us here at World Grand Prix Wrestling, you can do so. I'll give you a moment to get your pen and paper ready, and I'll give you the address as we watch Buddy Lane ready to tag up with rock and roller Wayne Gillies. Lane with an armbar here on Jerry Morrow. And now he's reversing the hold. Applying pressure to the left arm, and here's the Cuban assassin in to interfere. And the Cuban assassin and Jerry Morrow. And look at this. Wayne Gillies and Buddy Lane are going to town on the Cuban assassin and Jerry Morrow. The Cuban assassin obviously looking bewildered. And Jerry Morrow's not too sure about this situation either. This could call for a huddle on the part of the Cuban commandos. Morrow gets back into the ring as Buddy Lane goes to work. Here's a tag, and in comes Wayne Gillies. That address, incidentally, World Grand Prix Wrestling, care of ATV, 191 Halifax Street, Moncton. That's World Grand Prix Wrestling, care of ATV, 191 Halifax Street in Moncton, New Brunswick. Now, here's the Cuban assassin for an object. No question about it. I saw it in plain view. The camera picked it up. There he is again, reaching into the trunks, reaching into those combat fatigues. And there was no doubt about it. The Cuban assassin is carrying a concealed weapon. Referee Bernie Richard apparently unaware. The fans, of course, are going crazy at ringside. Buddy Lane, I think, is trying to tell referee Bernie Richard that the Cuban assassin has a weapon. Now here's Jerry Morrow from on high. Buddy Lane in to interfere as Morrow is going for the pin. Jerry Morrow in against rock and roller Wayne Gillies. Here's Gillies off the rope, and a double clothesline from the Cuban commandos. Buddy Lane trying his best to encourage Wayne Gillies, who there is victimized by a neck breaker. In comes Lane to put the boot to the head of Jerry Morrow and break up that pin attempt. Here's Morrow whipping Gillies off the rope. Gillies able to come back. Let's see if Gillies can make it for the tag. Yes! And here comes Buddy Lane. Lane with a chop. And down goes Jerry Morrow hard to the mat. Cuban assassin has thoughts of going from the top rope, but he does so the hard way. And now Buddy Lane has Morrow going head first into his partner. Morrow now whipping Lane off the ropes. Jerry Morrow is once again climbing those top ropes. Jerry Morrow having difficulty against Buddy Lane, and now Lane has joined Morrow. And look at this suplex. Wayne Gillies in to break it up with the Cuban Assassin. Here's the Cuban Assassin, a double pile driver. The referee, Bernie Richard, trying to restrain Wayne Gillies. 1, 2, 3, it's all over. The Cuban Commandos successfully defend their title and will be right back.
40 pounds, Pat Brady. And his opponent is making his way to the ring area. Hails from Montreal, Quebec, weighing 235 pounds, Phil Lefleur. And your referee for this match is Ron Gauguin.
Well, this should be a dandy match for all you fans watching. Phil Lefleur, an exciting newcomer to World Grand Prix Wrestling out of Montreal. This guy is highly touted by many of the World Wrestling Alliances and federations. He is labeled as a can't-miss prospect, a possible world contender one of these days. And here he is. We're very fortunate to have him with World Grand Prix Wrestling. Phil Lefleur in against another newcomer who is making a lot of noise in Pat Brady. Pat Brady is a second cousin of Rowdy Roddy Piper, and that's where the Scottish connection comes into play. Brady and Lefleur, and this should be an outstanding match. Of course, coming up later, we talked about it, the main event, Harley Race in against the Beast. And look at that move by Phil Lefleur. Lefleur really becoming a fan favorite, and that's one of the reasons why not only does he wrestle within the rules, but also has a flair for the spectacular. Here he is against Pat Brady, who is, I think, getting a little more than upset with the treatment he is receiving at the hands of Mr. Lefleur. Brady now with a hammerlock on Lefleur, applying pressure on that left arm. Lefleur is a great athlete. He's in superb shape.
Move over for an expert here, Mr. Maxwell.
And hold on a second. Hold the phone. We have gracing us at ringside, Rotten Ron Starr.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, what a chop. You know, Gary, I don't know how much you know about this young man, Phil Lefleur, but I'm going to tell you something. He's one of the best there is in the business today. You know, I had the privilege of wrestling him several times in Calgary. I was in Puerto Rico. He just came back from a big tour of Japan. The man's been all around the world, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Hey, the man's good. What can I say?
Rotten Ron Starr, I want to get your thoughts on the current controversy within World Grand Prix Wrestling, the unprovoked attack, the Cuban Assassin turning on Leo Burke. We all saw it on television last week. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is nothing was unprovoked there, Gary. You know, it's simple as the nose on your face. Leo Burke came in. He hit Cuban right square in the head with a chair. What would you have done, Gary, if somebody had come in and hit you?
That was accidental.
No.
Totally
Nothing
accidental.
Leo Burke does is accidental. Believe me, I've been partners with the man. I fought him many, many times in the ring. I defeated him in New Orleans in front of 72,000 people for the international heavyweight belt. Nothing he does is by any accident. Getting back to the match in the ring here, you see this Lefleur taking it in. My man Pat Brady reverses it in a face-first turnbuckle, and Lefleur is down.
Phil Lefleur currently reeling from the punishment he is receiving at the hands of Pat Brady.
Well, you know, Garrett, it's like they say, it's not over until the fat lady sings. So we're just going to have to sit back and see what happens. It looks like these men are pretty evenly matched. They're about the same weight, the same height. Oh, a beautiful amateur move, a chest-to-chest suplex. LaFleur's down. Come on, Brady, stay on him, buddy. Take it to him.
Ron Starr cheering on Pat Brady at ringside. And there's Brady, and he obviously guessed a little too soon on that maneuver.
Yeah, he's got a single leg Boston Crab there. That'll stretch that knee right out. You know, that reverse spinning kick that Pat Brady used there. I'm going to tell you people something. There's not any that does it any better than this man, Phil LaFleur. And if he gets a chance, he'll put your lights out with it. I'm one to tell you because he caught me in Calgary one night with it and knocked out 2 front teeth and broke my nose. So I know what I'm talking about. The man's lightning fast. He knows a lot of karate, a lot of martial arts. Brady slows him down, got a front face lock. And you see here, Gary, how he's got that chin barred across his forearm there. That ensures the fact that Phil LaFleur is not going anywhere.
Broughton Ron Starr, I want to touch on the subject of Leo Burke once again.
Gary, I think you're trying to put me on a spot here.
Well, in the sense that no matter what you say about Leo Burke, you can't deny he is still the international heavyweight wrestling champion, and you're not.
Well, that's only because he hasn't given me nice move. That's only because he hasn't given me a title match. Once I get a title match with Leo Burke, Gary, you know it, I know it, and all the stinking fishermen and potato farmers in the Maritimes know that Ron Starr will beat him and be the international heavyweight champion again.
Now that was totally uncalled for.
Accidental. The man was kicking out. Pat Brady was in a pin situation. He just tried to kick out, and maybe he caught a low blow there. I couldn't see it from my advantage point here. But, hey, Gary, that's why they call it one-on-one contact. A beautiful reverse.
Funny how you can't see the same things that I do here at ringside.
Well, that's understandable. I'm American and you're not.
Here's Pat Brady. Here's Pat Brady with a boot into the throat of Phil LaFleur.
Well, I tell you, he's not going to beat a man the caliber of Phil LaFleur by putting a boot to the throat without following it up. The name of the game's wrestling, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to take the man down with a good power move, maybe even a high-risk maneuver, take him down, take his wheels out from under him, whatever it takes, bar that inside leg, and hook it in tight and go for it.
Here's suplex attempt, and down goes the... But it was a slow count.
It looked like a slow count here to me, too. You know, I tell you, sometimes I wonder about this referee. You know, just last week when I had the Cuban pin there, the man was very, very slow in getting over for his count. Sometimes I think this referee's a little bit partial.
How are you going to... You bring something else up. How's a guy like Rotten Ron Starr going to put all the animosity with the Cuban assassin out of your mind? Now you seem to be cheering the guy on.
Well, you know, there's an old saying, I can forgive, but I can't forget. And that's exactly the way it's going to be with the Cuban. I can forgive him for what's happened in the past. You know, the Cuban and I were friends in the past for many, many years. We had a separating, he went his way, I went mine. That's fine and dandy. I don't take nothing from Cuban. He did what he thought was right, and I've done what I thought was right. I stand up for myself because I know nobody else will. I have to take it all the way. And as far as the Cuban goes, the only thing I can do is just keep my eyes on him and see where he goes from here. There, Phil LaFleur went for a big splash. Pat Brady brought the knees up. And
here's a Leo Burke maneuver, the abdominal stretch. Pat Brady has it applied on Phil LaFleur. There's no way LaFleur's about to submit.
You know, there's only one thing, Gary, from here. You can't see it on the monitor, but Mr. Brady's making one mistake. He doesn't have that leg grapevine with his, and that's going to give the man, Phil LaFleur, who's got really a lot of upper body strength, a chance to power out of it just like he did then.
That hip toss is able to break the hold, and now LaFleur has a moment to try and recover. Here's LaFleur coming off.
Big solid forearm across the chest.
Right off the ropes, and now another one. LaFleur able to stop Pat Brady in his tracks. And look at that. Left forearm going after Pat Brady, who is now down on the mat.
I'm going to tell you, this Brady's got to keep moving. You can't give LaFleur a chance to get on you. If you do, here's what I was talking about. This man, Phil LaFleur, does not hesitate to take a high-risk move, goes to the top.
Phil LaFleur off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. This one is all over.
Barely made it. Inside hook. Got to hook that leg.
What a great comeback on the part of Phil LaFleur. His arm raised instant victory as he was able to absorb the punishment and come from behind that move off the top rope, keying the victory over that man, Pat Brady, and World Grand Prix Wrestling returns.
Professional wrestling at its finest begins Friday in Bridgewater, then Saturday in Berwick, and Sunday in Antigonish. The action continues Monday at the Cocan Arena, Tuesday in Kedgewood, Wednesday in Woodstock, Thursday in Spring Hill, and Friday back in Bridgewater.
In 1871, W.H. Eisner & Sons installed these to get you stopped.
One fall with a 20-minute time limit. Entering the ring right now from Mongolia, weighing 260 pounds, the Mongolian. And his opponent, making his way to the ring area, hails from Dorchester, New Brunswick, weighing 237 pounds, Leo Burke. And your referee for this match is Bernie Richard.
Well, here we are at ringside. Gare Maxwell watching Leo Burke ready to step in against the Mongolian. There you see Burke taped up, still feeling the effects of that attack sustained last week at the hands of the Cuban assassin. Here he is in against the Mongolian. We're joined at ringside by Frenchy Martin.
Yes, Mr. Maxwell.
Who I know took great pleasure in watching that disgusing act.
Well, I think it's about time. I think it's about time that Leo Burke gets what he deserves. You know, Leo Burke's been here in the Maritime as an idol for a lot of people, but I don't think he's a wrestler that the people should be proud of. I don't see what the guy's got.
And look what Leo Burke is doing right away. Leo Burke is obviously upset. Obviously a man on a mission, and here he goes whipping the Mongolian post to post.
What I don't understand is what everybody says about Leo Burke is such a great wrestler. And the first thing he does is go right to work with the kick and punches, as you've seen him. I don't blame him. I think he's not only mad, I think his madness is not realizing how big and how strong the Mongolian is.
Well, Leo Burke has obviously got the upper hand here on the Mongolian. I've made the comment before, Frenchie, the Mongolian's not going to win too many beauty contests.
Well, that's not the point. I don't think Leo Burke could win any contest at all. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to start managing some of the guys and give Leo Burke and the likes of Leo Burke the hardest time they ever had in their career.
You're going to get into managing?
I will. I'll do whatever I want here, Maxwell House. Let me tell you this. Anything I want. You see when I played with the kid last week?
Here's the Mongolian with a face rake on Leo Burke. The Mongolian going after Leo. There's a right hand, and Mongolian has reopened the cut on Leo Burke, and he is ripping Leo Burke's forehead.
Burke is not going to get any sympathy from the Mongolian, and it's about time. I told you.
How can you sit here
that guy is bigger than Leo Burke. Leo Burke's a nobody.
There is no need for that in professional wrestling.
That's about time Leo Burke gets his own medicine. He's looked for it for years.
The Mongolian has reopened that gash on Leo Burke's forehead that he received last week from the Cuban assassin.
I think you might not see Leo Burke wrestle for a while.
Leo Burke is obviously going to have to go for stitches to get this thing repaired properly. Here's Leo Burke. Big boot coming off the rope.
Yeah, great boot. It's a kick. That's nothing to do with wrestling.
Leo Burke.
A punch. That has nothing to do with wrestling.
Leo Burke.
Say it like it is, Maxwell House.
I'll say
kicks and punches.
I'll tell you what's going on. Leo Burke is worked up into a fury. Here he is, the international heavyweight champ, whipping the Mongolian. And here it is, the sleeper hold.
That's a chokehold.
This is a sleeper hold, perfectly legal.
Come on, I'm telling you it's a chokehold. Everybody see it. The guy's not breathing.
You can say what you want, Frenchie, but it's obviously accepted within the rules and the regulations of World Grand Prix Wrestling.
The Mongolian's not asleep yet.
There goes the Mongolian into dreamland.
Stop the fight because Leo Burke is bleeding too much.
And rockabye Mongolian. This one's all over.
He got lucky.
And Leo Burke, his arm raised poised in victory, walks out a winner once again. We'll be back.
Today's program is one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Already in the ring from Moncton, New Brunswick, weighing 239 pounds, stomping Paul Feller. And his opponent, making his way to the ring area, hails from New Orleans, weighing 236 pounds, Rotten Ron Starr.
And the referee for this match is Ron Gauguin. Paul Peller, stomping Paul Peller, who's become a fan favorite, is brandishing, well, I guess that's a billy club of sorts. It proved to be very effective in breaking up a brawl on television last week. Rotten Ron Starr wanted no part of that particular weapon, and now we're set to go with Ron Starr in against stomping Paul Peller, a real cagey veteran of the sport. We're joined at ringside now by the king of professional wrestling, Harley Race. And Harley, you've got quite a task on your hands coming up, a main event encounter with none other than the Beast.
Anytime you go in a ring with a Beast, you know you're in for nothing but a street ball, a fight. And that's what I'm expecting. What we're going to watch right here, right now, is a classic Ron Starr. Paul Peller may be great, but he's nowhere near close to the gentleman that he's in the ring.
Well, stomping Paul Peller showing some moves that Ron Starr I don't think has seen before.
He floats like a bee. He stings like a fly.
Harley Race.
That's just the opposite of what it should be.
Harley Race, I have to take you to task for some of the tactics you've been employing here on the World Grand Prix Wrestling. A man of your stature, a man of your ability. I find it hard to comprehend why you have to resort to such tactics.
A man of my stature and a man of my ability does exactly what he wants, when he wants to do it, and doesn't really care what anyone else thinks about it. Just like right then, if you've been watching, Ron Starr really didn't care what Paul Peller thought when he reached up and slapped him.
As far as the action in the ring is concerned, I think even Harley Race would have to admit that Paul Peller is more than holding his own here against Rotten Ron Starr.
I didn't say he wasn't going to hold his own. I just told you that he is outclassed. Paul Peller's a great wrestler, but he's outclassed.
Now stomping Paul Peller with that crazy dance of his, I think, has Rotten Ron Starr off balance.
Well, that one definitely caught Starr off balance. There he is back again. He's paying for it.
Nice takedown by Starr, and then he follows up with a boot to the back area, then a knee to the forehead. Starr kicking away at his opponent. Ron Starr now in control here against stomping Paul Peller. And here's an eye rake right across the top rope. That is certainly painful.
See how you can utilize rules? Rules are always made to be broken. And in wrestling, right there is a perfect example of how a smart guy uses the rules in his favor.
There's Starr pulling the tights of Peller down around the midsection and using his fingernails to claw into the back of Paul Peller. An elbow to the side of the head. An elbow to the top of the head. There's Peller coming off the rope. A hard right hand. Starr comes back with another right. Head into the turnbuckle. These guys are really going at it. Stomping Paul Peller and Rotten Ron Starr.
One thing I can say about Grand Prix wrestling, when you're watching Grand Prix wrestling, you're watching nothing but pure action from the time the bell rings till it's over.
Rotten Ron Starr with Peller on the mat. Starr is hungry for another shot at that International Heavyweight Wrestling Championship belt, currently worn by a proud champion and a deserving one in Leo Burke.
That's your opinion, of course.
And an opinion shared by many observers, I might add. Harley?
It's shared by a few of these people around here that got that familiar smell of fish. That belt belongs around the waist of a man the caliber of the gentleman in the ring, Ron Starr, myself, or Frenchie Martin, somebody that's adverse at everything.
Harley, what's this about you being managed by Frenchie Martin?
Frenchie Martin.
If you're so great, if you're as great as you say you are, why do you need someone else?
I don't need any human being on the face of the earth, but like I said, I'm a very intelligent guy. I utilize anything that happens to be around at the time. Frenchie Martin and myself were together in Paris. We just made an extensive trip throughout Europe. And Martin is a very, very wise ring veteran. If he's sitting in my dressing room and he's willing to do it, why not utilize that talent?
Stomping Paul Peller out on the cement floor, trying to collect his thoughts and gain some momentum here against Rotten Ron Starr. Here's Starr, intent on bringing Peller in the hard way. Peller goes back down on the floor.
He's smart, that's where he'll stay.
I think Paul Peller deserves a lot of credit for the way he's performed in this match. He is the obvious underdog. Starr now climbing out of the ring, going after Paul Peller, who grabs a chair.
See what I mean? See what I mean? Right there you go. A typical New Brunswick style.
Peller wound up getting the chair on the flush of the back area as Starr was able to block that attack, and now Starr whipping Peller into the turnbuckle. There's a clothesline.
Now, wouldn't you say that Peller deserved what he got then?
Well, I have to admit that Peller probably had no business picking up the chair, but in light of some of the punishment he has endured, I think he had every right.
You're supposed to be able to endure the punishment, or you're not supposed to get in the ring. And he's in there with a gentleman that loves dishing it out.
Ron Starr and Paul Peller. And here's Peller off the ropes, sending Starr down on his back. Peller with the crowd behind him, and he could be dangerous if he gets worked up. Here's Peller with a boot to the midsection. Paul Peller not able to, or rather not about to relax here against Rotten Ron Starr. And there's a case of the referee getting too involved as far as I'm concerned.
The referee just doing his job. He was supposed to stop Paul Peller from punching. He was just doing his job.
Nevertheless, that gave the opportunity for Starr to come back with a closed fist of his own and gain the advantage over Paul Peller, who slugs Starr with a hard right. This has been a great match here on World Grand Prix Wrestling. Here, Maxwell and Harley Race.
Peller got him up there that time.
With you at ringside. Here's a cover by Peller, the count of 2, and Starr is able to escape. Here's Starr post to post, and Peller runs into a big boot. Here's a Boston Crab attempt, I believe.
That is a submission. That is a submission.
And Starr is using the ropes to gain leverage. Paul Peller trying to get out of the
Utilizing what has to be. That's it. Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
It's all over. Rotten Ron Starr gaining the submission hold with the assistance of the ropes, undetected by referee Ron Gauguin.
Wait a minute. What do we got climbing over the rope here? What do we got coming near the ring?
Rochester, New Brunswick, weighing 250 pounds, the Maritimes' own, the Beast. And his opponent, making his way to the ring area, is from Kansas City, Missouri, weighing 251 pounds, the King of Wrestling, Harley Race. And he is accompanied to the ring area by his manager, Frenchy Martin.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'est très facile à comprendre. Je vous présente le roi de la lutte, Harley Race.
And your referee for this match, Bernie Richard.
Well, here we are at ringside for what should be a tremendous main event. The Beast in against Harley Race, renewing an old rivalry from years gone by here at the Cocan Arena. The only twist on this particular matchup is the presence of the manager, Frenchy Martin. And you have to be very concerned about the likes of Frenchy Martin being at ringside.
Well, to start with, Gary Maxwell, you don't have to worry about Frenchy being there.
Hold on a second. I wasn't asking you. I was making an intelligent observation regarding Martin and the threat he possesses as far as interference is concerned. And here goes the Beast in against King Harley Race.
Yeah, well, nothing you do is intelligent, just like Leo Burke and the rest of these Maritimers. You know, I want to know, how the hell does the referee say I held the rope in that last match? There's no way. I had the man in a Boston Crab. I didn't have to have the outside interference or anything else, just like the King Harley Race won't need Frenchy Martin for no more than moral support.
Rotten Ron Starr obviously frustrated by his repeated failures to gain the International Championship belt. And as many of you saw on television moments ago, not able to gain the victory over Stompin' Paul Peller.
Yeah, but he did give up. He gave up, and everybody in the arena heard it. And just because this Maritimer, Leo Burke, comes in here, thinks he's God or something, comes in and tells the referee something, they switch it like he's the almighty. Well, I got news for you. As soon as Leo Burke, the Beast, or any of the rest of them want to try Ron Starr, the same thing's going to happen to them that happened to Paul Peller. They're going to give up and beg for mercy.
King Harley Race down onto the ring floor.
Do it, Harley, do it. Good one, good one.
And into the interview table goes the head of the Beast, King Harley Race, now using the chair on the Beast.
Stay on him, Harley, right into the post there, Gare. Let's see what the Beast is made of now. Well, what I want to know is what circus did they get this guy out of to start with? Big knee lift to the Beast, and he's got him rocking and a-reeling. Great balls of fire, baby. What's it all about?
Here's King Harley Race whipping the Beast into the ropes, but Beast doesn't go down all that easy. Here's a cover attempt, count of two before King Harley Race is able to kick out.
A big boot to the chest. You know, I tell you, sometimes I wonder about these Klondikes that the Beast wears. You know, I kind of think they must be loaded. Oh, a big turnbuckle there, and Harley Race goes backwards over the top rope out onto the concrete floor, Gare.
There you get an idea, Ron Starr, of the strength of the Beast.
Well, I never denied the man strong. I've been in the ring with him before. I know what he's made of. The man's unbelievably strong. For his size, pound for pound, he's probably one of the strongest men in professional wrestling today. He can take you by one hand and whip you in there, and he's got a big, vicious bear hug that I'm here to tell you will make a bear give up.
Here he is, the Beast, with the bear hug in on King Harley Race, and this is the interference I talked about, and oh my, it backfires.
What's going on here, Gare? No. No way. No way could that be like that.
The Beast gaining the victory, but now the subject of a vicious
Tap
attack.
dance, boys. Do it to him. Tap dance on him.
A vicious attack now.
What's Burke doing in there? What's Leo Burke doing in there?
Leo Burke to the rescue of his brother, the Beast. And now Ron Starr has left the interview table to attack Leo Burke. The Beast is the winner of this match, but that hardly matters at this point, as we've got Jerry Morrow coming into the ring. The rock and roller Wayne Gillies. Here comes the Cuban assassin. Leo Burke escape. We've got as many as 8 or 9 wrestlers, and the Beast, his arm raised in victory, has won the match, and as it turns out, the brawl. What action here at the Cocan Arena, and I don't know if it's over yet, folks. The Cuban Assassin looks like he wants to get back into it with Leo Burke. We, of course, saw what happened last week on television. The Cuban attacking Leo Burke with the chair, splitting him wide open. That wound has reopened. And now it looks as though we're going to have an unscheduled rematch. Don't go away. Nobody's going for coffee right now, I can tell you. The Cuban Assassin, he's got the watch off. It looks as though he's ready to go. Leo Burke in his wrestling tights. Watch the Cuban Assassin. Jerry Morrow is trying to restrain the Cuban. Stompin' Paul Peller has now climbed into the ring to the aid of Leo Burke, and it looks like Jerry Morrow wants to get involved in this action as well. And here come the Cuban Commandos. This was not part of the program, folks, and here comes Jerry Morrow in the hard way. And just like that, Morrow is able to get out of town in a hurry. Here's Morrow running to the rescue, or running to the safety net provided by Frenchie Martin. The Cuban Assassin and Jerry Morrow, they have touched off a powder keg here in the Maritimes with World Grand Prix Wrestling. The promoter, Emile Dupré, is trying to help straighten things out. Cuban Assassin is back on the ring apron. Now Harley Race is climbing into the ring, ready to attack Leo Burke. And we've got another unscheduled bout underway. This is an all-out brawl, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go again. Here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 8, 9 men in the ring. Leo Burke, his head is once again gushing blood, and the Cuban Assassin goes out over the top rope, thanks to Phil LaFleur, dressed in street clothes. And the Beast is now attacking Jerry Moore. There you see Ron Starr trying to split open the head of Leo Burke. Paul Peller in to help out Leo Burke. Harley Race is taking a licking at the hands of rocker Wayne Gillies. And Harley Race is on his way out of town. Leo Burke now going after King Harley Race. And oh my! You see it for yourself, folks. We're in the middle of a Pier 6 brawl here on World Grand Prix Wrestling. Leo Burke and Harley Race back into the middle of the ring. I can't believe it. I've never seen such uncontrolled fury, such unrestrained action. Leo Burke and King Harley Race. Oh my! The King has certainly been crowned on that occasion. And Leo Burke is still standing. Leo Burke is still standing. We'd like to get over and get a word with Leo Burke, if it is at all possible.
Cuban Assassin, I treated you better than my own brother. I brought you to my house. I fed you, and you turned your back on me. Remember one thing, I never asked you to be my partner. You asked me. Remember that, Cuban Assassin?
Okay, we'll be right back with more.
In the Maritime, but it looks to me like it's going to be tougher than ever. Their guys are bigger, they're meaner, and a lot of them have you seen before, and I've seen before, and we battled with chain match, we done it all. And the only thing I can say, us Maritimers better be on the ball and got to be sharp if we're going to be around, because it looks like the competition is tough, and we're going to be tough too.
Can't imagine what's ahead next week on World Grand Prix Wrestling.